Welcome to the Drew Yari Show.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of the Drew Yari Show. You already know me. I am the host of this fine establishment, Yari. If you already listened to this, it's already Wednesday. It's a lovely little chilly December night here in San Antonio. I sound like a fucking newscaster. As you can tell tonight, it's just me. No Jess. I did promise everyone that we were going to probably do something tonight, but I forgot to take into account that I have a final tomorrow early in the morning at 9:45 in the morning. Yeah, it's 9:45 literally. That is the time. So we might be doing something next week. If not, then there's still going to be a show. But I am here, like I always am every Tuesday, to record, to bring you the news in the world of whether it be comic books, Marvel, DC-related shit, movies, professional wrestling. I guess we can start with, has anyone been watching the Elseworlds crossover on CW with Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, and now the new Batwoman? It is freaking amazing. To take a word from Wrestling Soup's John Draper, it is amazeballs. You know, I'm like incredibly behind with all the shows. I'm up to date with what's going on Arrow and Flash. Supergirl, I'm very much behind, but I'm trying to catch up. I'm like barely on the first season on Netflix, and yeah. Legend of Tomorrow, I couldn't care less for that show, but yeah, for this Elseworlds trailer, they like to have their big crossover, big time episodes every December-ish, I guess, where they fight some big bad. This season, they deal with a guy named the Monitor. I'll be honest with you, I don't know much about the Monitor. What happens is, I guess in a recent episode, at the end of a recent episode of, I would like to say either Flash or Supergirl, you see the Monitor just like fuck shit up in another world, on another Earth, and you see John Wesley Shipp, who, as we know, is the Flash from the 90s, and his, Flash, guard from the 90s episode. On that Earth, he's Barry Allen. He's not Jay Garrick, he's Barry Allen on whatever Earth that the Monitor is on. He takes this big book called the Book of Destiny, I believe, where you can literally just rewrite history the way you see fit, and gives it to some random professor out in Gotham, who, for whatever reason, he doesn't really explain. I guess you'll find out in Part 3. I haven't gotten to Part 3 yet. He rewrites history by switching the identities and the lives of Barry Allen and Oliver. So Oliver Queen now has Barry Allen's life. He literally wakes up married to Iris, and he's like, "What the fuck? Why is she on me and not Felicity?" And Barry wakes up with Oliver's life, literally just fighting Diggle. So they find each other, and they try to let the crew know at Star Labs what's going on. They think that they're like aliens or imposters or whatever. They trap them. They break out of that little cell that they're trapped in. They convince themselves to go seek help from Kara, who's in another Earth. I forget the name of the Earth. And for all you Smallville fans out there, we were promised like a Smallville Easter egg. And they didn't really say what it was. A lot of people assumed you might see, characters from Smallville, past, like maybe a Tom Welling sighting or, Justin Harley sighting, which that'd be pretty interesting. But no, the Easter egg is they open the portal to go to Smallville, to Kent Farms, where it begins the intro from Smallville, which is Remy Miro Save Me. And that made me smile because, I like Smallville. Surprisingly, I wasn't a Superman fan, but I was a fan of Smallville, if that makes sense. So they go to Kent Farms and meet up with Cal and Kara, Superman and Supergirl. And, well, basically, I'll wait until I actually watch part 3 to give like a full review of it. It kind of seems like I just did. So later on, they go to Gotham, which is fucking huge. Gotham exists in the Arrowverse, and there are tons of Easter eggs in that episode, like tons. You get to see Batgirl for the first time, who's played by Ruby Rose, who she looks fucking awesome. I mean, obviously, I'm not her type. I'm a guy, but she's kind of hot. I'm not gonna lie, she's kind of hot, and she fits that Batgirl that Batwoman costume pretty well. And you hear, Bruce Wayne's name drop more than once. Barry is like fanboying all over, the thought of Batman being in Gotham. You see the Bat Signal. You see GCPD. You see appearances from Malcolm Merlyn and what's his name? Eobard Thawne, which that was pretty freaking huge. You see Nora Freeze, who is the wife of Victor Freeze, who is Mr. Freeze. You see Bane's mask. They're at Arkham Asylum, so you see names on certain doors. You see people like the Riddler, Cobblepot, which is the Penguin, Clayface, and there's someone else. I'm trying to think of another name. Oh yeah, Poison Ivy. So there's that, and the episode ends with Black Superman, not Black Superman, but Superman in his black suit, who. I guess they rewrote history again, where Superman is now evil, kind of like in the Injustice 2 game. So, I haven't watched episode 3 just yet. I need to watch it. I will watch it as soon as it drops. I have the CW app. I also have a bunch of TV show movie apps that I can probably just watch it on. Or usually I just watch it on Akasan's channel. Akasan is a YouTube reactor guy that he'll react to movie trailers, video game trailers, and he'll do he'll put small bits and pieces of reactions to TV shows where it'll be for 10 minutes. You can watch the full reaction on his Patreon page, which when I start making a little extra dough, I might just sign up to that. But part 3 I will definitely watch when that comes out. Hopefully it might drop in a little bit. But it was just announced. I'm assuming they teased it after part 3, after the whole, Elseworlds thing was over, that next year will be Crisis on Infinite Earths. And I'm assuming that's what the Monitor was talking about whenever he was talking to Oliver, Kara, and Barry, letting him know, I'm trying to round up the best from each universe or each Earth to fight an imminent threat that's coming to us. So I'm going to need to read up on Infinite Earths. It sounds fucking awesome. I know somewhat about it, but I need to get that fucking comic and read it. But yeah, anyways, what else is going on in the news? What else? Oh yeah, last Friday. Did anyone watch that Avengers 4 trailer? The answer is yes. I don't need to ask you guys twice about that. I've watched it maybe at least 6 or 8 times. Avengers 4. And I won't say what the title of the movie is called just yet. It was Friday. I'm pretty sure everyone already knows. But I'll just be nice to people who, don't want to know just yet. So basically, it's a very quick trailer. I think it's 2 minutes. I think it's 2.5 minutes. But it seems like it went by really fast. In the beginning of the trailer, it starts off just really kind of just depressing. It sets the mood. It shows Tony Stark opening up a PDA or a communication system on his helmet, which looks fucked to all hell. And he's sending out a message to Pepper. Kind of like he did in I think he did the same thing in Iron Man 3, if I'm not mistaken. Where he basically just says, hey, Captain's log, it's been 4 days since we ran out of food and water. And then tomorrow morning we're going to run out of oxygen. And I'm not going to make it, so whenever I drift off, I will think about you. I've always thought about you. And then he turns off his communication system. So my first question is, all right, this is obviously not too long after what happened on Planet Titan against Thanos, because the last people left on that planet were Tony and Nebula. The other ones, Strange, Spider-Man, the other three Guardians, all went away in the decimation, which is it's now known as the decimation, not the snap. So they're on the same ship together. They both ran out of food, no water. They're about to run out of oxygen. Obviously, Tony's not just going to die. I mean, Tony's going to probably die in this movie, but they're not going to have him die in a kind of a weak way. Like, someone's going to save him. The theories going around is that there's 3 names. It's either going to be Captain Marvel, which that would be an interesting way to bring her into the fold. You got Pepper, because Gwyneth Paltrow revealed on social media what her new Iron Pepper rescue suit looks like. So she probably got the message from Tony, and she'll find his location, his coordinates, and save him wherever he is, bring him back to Earth. And then you got another interesting name to throw out there is Valkyrie, because you remember at the end of Thor Ragnarok, you never see what happened to Valkyrie or Korg. Hey man, I'm Korg. You see what happened to the other Asgardians and Loki and Thor and Hulk. You just complete decimation. And I think the Russo brothers insinuated that Valkyrie is alive. Like before the whole mess with Thanos went on, that Thor told her take the women and children to safety. Get them off this ship. Find a better home for them. Valkyrie has to be alive, and I think she's already been confirmed for the movie. Korg, you can't kill Korg. Come on, man. Korg's the man. So that'd be interesting. Like, Tony thinks that he's dying and that he's dying peacefully. He wakes up, he sees this giant, thing of a fucking mountain standing over him, going, "Hey, man, I'm cool. Nice to meet you. You're my sheep. I saved you, man." That's a bad impression, I know. And then you just see Valkyrie, bringing Tony back to life, and her and Nebula would make an interesting duo. But you got Korg and Tony. That'd be a really interesting duo. Anyways, after that sequence is over in the trailer, it goes down to Earth, or it shows Thanos, not his whole face. It just shows the back of his hand, the back of his Infinity Gauntlet, which is still messed up. He's on a farm, which is, shout out to the comics, and it shows the Thanos Scarecrow with his old garb on, and you hear Black Widow say Thanos did exactly what he said he was going to do. He wiped out 50% of this planet's living creatures, not just humans, creatures, dogs, birds, cats, even plants. Plants are gone too after the decimation. And it shows Cap crying, which, obviously he's crying. How is he not going to cry? Which that kind of broke me. I don't want to see Cap cry. When Cap cries, I cry. And then you just hear Cap, say, we lost everybody, we lost loved ones, we lost friends, we lost a part of ourselves. As soon as it says that, you see Black Widow holding an umbrella in the rain and looking at some random dude in some weird kind of like ninjaic outfit, and it's Ronin. It's Hawkeye as his new persona, Ronin, and we're just assuming what's going on. We're assuming that Hawkeye lost his family in the decimation. That means because there's no other way he becomes Ronin without that, because Ronin is basically kind of like the Winter Soldier to his Captain America. Captain America does things differently. He'll still do what he has to do to protect, our country, but he's not going to go beyond that line, if you know what I mean. Winter Soldier is, take no prisoners. That's what Ronin is. Ronin You see Ronan literally kill a man in front of Black Widow and feel nothing. And he just turns around and takes off his mask, and it's Clint. Other things revealed in the trailer. It's revealed that Shuri from Black Panther, or Black Panther's sister, did not survive the decimation because it shows Bruce Banner looking at, I guess, like a hologram computer, and it shows the names of those who were affected in the decimation. It shows, Scott Lang, which we'll get to in a bit, and then it shows Peter Parker, and then it shows Shuri, which that sucks because I like Shuri. I mean, it would have been nice to keep Shuri along. Just to see that dynamic of her and Bruce Banner. Or maybe that's just a way for the Bruces to fuck with us, because that trailer, the first trailer for Infinity War that came out, there was a lot in there. They purposely said that they filmed fake scenes in there to throw people off. So maybe that was a way to throw us off. But, yeah. At the end of the trailer, they reveal the title, which is Avengers Endgame, which a lot of people kind of, it was rumored that was going to be the title for the movie. At the end, Infinity War, if you guys don't remember, in the scene after where Doctor Strange gives Thanos the Time Stone, he tells Tony, we're in the Endgame now. And apparently in Age of Ultron, Tony said the same thing to the Avengers after they found out that he was responsible for Ultron, where he said, we're in the Endgame now. So, yeah, Endgame. And after the trailer, you hear Scott Lang's voice outside of the Avengers facility, who is in the same, I guess the same bus or car, the same vehicle. I'm forgetting things now. That he used at the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp in the post-credit scene where he goes into the quantum realm and he's stuck there because the Pym family are part of the snap, the decimation. So they can't bring him back. So he somehow got out of the quantum realm, which, duh. That was kind of like a duh thing. I knew Scott Lang was going to come out of the quantum realm because he did it before. But, I don't know. It would have been better if they didn't show that, just to kind of, build up suspense, especially for people who are not as familiar with the movie. I don't know how else to explain it. The theory is that he might even be a Skrull. That Scott Lang is still trapped in the quantum realm, and that is a Skrull. So since Skrulls are going to be part of Captain Marvel. So yeah, that is I was going to say Infinity War. That is Avengers Endgame trailer. The Avengers will come out on, I believe, April 27th. I need to check again. It was April 27th. It was supposed to be in May, and they moved it to April or something. April 26th. There you go. April 26th. All right. There's obviously going to be another trailer because for these Marvel movies, they like to, especially for the bigger ones, they like to put out at least 2 trailers. So I imagine there's going to be another one the month before the movie actually comes out. Because that's how it worked out last year. The first one was in December, and then the final one was in March. And that was the one, that final trailer was the announcement of, hey, tickets are on sale now. So, because for a big movie like this, they're not going to want to show you too much. They're going to want to think that they're showing you everything, but what they're really doing is mind-fucking you. They're putting out a sequence in trailers saying, hey, this is what's going to supposedly happen. And this is the reason why it happened. Or was it? So, yeah. Avengers Endgame. That needs to happen already. I kind of need that in my life. I'm very excited. I mean, the first trailer was interesting. It was very kind of morose and, gloomy and depressing. But, that's the point, obviously, because, they lost everybody. And then Scott Lang coming in at the end kind of, made everyone happy, I guess. But that remains to be seen. The next trailer will obviously have a lot more. Will be a much longer trailer. So we'll see. On Saturday, we were promised a Spider-Man trailer for Far From Home, but that got pushed back until supposedly December 18th or, whenever. I personally think that film, if they're going to show the trailer for that film, they need to show it maybe as like a post-credit scene after Avengers Endgame. Because they haven't really delved into what the point of the movie is. Like when is it? Because, the thought process going in is that it'll be more than likely set after Avengers 4. But some alluded to that it might even be a prequel to Avengers 4. Because they showed the trailer at a Comic-Con in Brazil, where they brought out Tom Holland and Jake Gyllenhaal and a couple other cast members, where they talked about the movie. In the trailer, you see a lot of Spider-Man. You see Spider-Man meet up with Shield, Nick Fury, and then you see it shows you Mysterio wearing the big old fishbowl outfit. I'm sorry if you hear that. There's fucking dogs outside barking for whatever reason. They're not my dogs. My dogs are inside. Yeah, but anyways, it shows Spider-Man teaming up with Mysterio because Mysterio is brought in as like a good guy at first, which he'll more than likely become a bad guy. He probably has a hidden agenda. And he's fighting supposedly Sandman and Hydro Man. And they haven't said who's playing who yet. But you'll have to find out. And Nick Fury, I guess, recruited Mysterio. So you have to find... So that's an interesting concept. I'm glad they're not just bringing him in as like a one-dimensional villain of like, haha, I must fight you because I don't like you, and I'm bad, and you're good. And I don't like that. Haha. It's like, no, let's bring him in as a nice guy, and then have him being a complete dick in probably the biggest moment of the movie. So, and then Happy Hogan is hitting on Aunt May. So you have that. And in the trailer, they did not allude to anything that happened in Infinity War. So, is the movie either going to be a prequel or something that happens after Avengers 4? I don't know. Because there was that big talk last month about the fact that Venom did so much, did really well at the box office that Sony doesn't really need Marvel anymore, that they can continue making their own Spider-Verse movies and might even take Spider-Man back. Which kind of goes into my next topic, and I have the news right in front of me. It is... Alright. Venom writer hints at Spider-Man in future sequel. Venom, I'm on ScreenRant.com. Venom screenwriter Jeff Pinker has hinted that Spider-Man could yet appear in a sequel. Marvel fans had long been skeptical about Sony's plans to create a shared universe centered around Spider-Man's rogues gallery and secondary characters, but without the wall-crawler himself, those doubts prove ill-founded, however, given the phenomenal box office performance of Venom. Although Venom didn't exactly get a gold star from critics, it currently has a critic score of 20% on review aggregate site Rotten Tomatoes. It proved to be a hit with moviegoers. The film grossed more than $800 million worldwide, beating the likes of Wonder Woman, and has certainly served as an effective launchpad for Sony's future slate. Sony has set dates for 2 films in 2020, expected to be Morbius and Venom 2, but none of those characters in the works have anything like the kind of prior exposure Venom enjoys. So superhero lovers are once again unsure whether the studio plans will pay off. And I'm just gonna like skim through this. The screenwriter pretty much just said that there's going to be a sequel to Venom. He says, without revealing anything that I'm not allowed to reveal, it is not impossible that in a future upcoming Venom movie, Spider-Man will play a significant role. I think it's fair to say that everyone involved would be very excited would be very excited by a Spider-Man and Venom movie. So yeah. Yeah, there we go. Obviously you can't have a Venom movie without Spider-Man. Venom is Venom because of Spider-Man. It's kind of like Joker. Like Joker, you can't have Joker without Batman, and they're putting in Bruce Wayne in that movie. So, and again, Venom wasn't the best movie ever. It had its flaws. It had a lot of flaws, but I enjoyed it. I liked it. I mean, I've watched it more than once. So, it is what it is. I think people like Venom. Ironically, it kind of has like a cult following because they're aware of how bad it is, but they love it because it's Venom. They love Venom. Even though they made Venom into a comedy almost, I think the film would have benefited more from being rated R. They supposedly made it PG-13 because they want to do crossovers with Marvel, / Disney, which I don't know how it's going to work, but we'll see how that works out. If they're going to do a crossover, if they're going to want to do a Spider-Man and Venom movie, just keep Tom Holland. Don't make two Spider-Mans. That's like, with the whole, let's have two Quicksilvers and kill off the other one. Or kind of like what DC's doing, let's have two Flashes. Let's have two Supergirls. Let's make a Deathstroke movie that's never going to happen, but let's tell CW that they can't use Deathstroke. So, do the crossover and keep Holland. People already know Holland. They love Holland. We love Tom Hardy. That's a better team-up. That's a better crossover. That's a better fight we want to see. You have two very charismatic actors who can carry a movie. So that's the movie people want to see. That's the movie I want to see. And I will move along to the very next topic. Aquaman. And if this fucking computer wants to go fast. Aquaman is getting pretty good reviews. It last I saw, it has 71 or 76 on Rotten Tomatoes, which is not too shabby. I'm on Variety.com, and apparently these are what the critics are saying. Los Angeles Times, Kenneth Turan, audience reactions to blockbusters are difficult to predict, but it's unlikely anyone will come out of Aquaman asking, is this all there is? Not only does the new comic book superhero movie from the DC Extended Universe clock in at over 2 hours and 23 minutes, it throws everything else except an undersea kitchen sink. Waka waka. It's almost as if director James Wan and screenwriters David Leslie Johnson, Mick Goldrick, yikes, and Will Beal feared this would be their only shot at making an Aquaman movie and shoehorn every last idea they had into the mix. See, Aquaman's got pretty good reviews, which is, kind of like it's a breath of fresh air if you're a DC fan. Because DC movies, since, the Dark Knight movies are kind of like a dime a dozen there. Or, no, that's probably not the right word to use, but they don't get too many good reviews, and for good reason. Suicide Squad was not very good. Man of Steel was not very good. Batman v Superman was not very good. Justice League was not very good. Wonder Woman was amazing. And, Aquaman apparently is going to be amazing. Shazam looks like it's going to be pretty fun to watch. It looks like it's going to be a fun movie. So, DC's kind of, heading in a different direction than Marvel. And at the moment, I don't hate it. I'm just not sure of it. Because with DC started late. Marvel, Kevin Feige supposedly had this 20, 30-year plan. Even before the first Iron Man. The first Iron Man was riding on Robert Downey Jr. If that movie wasn't successful, I don't know if they would have continued the MCU the way it is now. It obviously was a big success. DC was late to the game because they were still working on, the Christopher Nolan Batman movies. To me, it would have been 10 times more interesting, and I personally would have preferred if they kept Christian Bale on as Batman. Because we already were used to Christian Bale as Batman. And so when they announced, Man of Steel and that, Nolan was going to be a part of it, that he was going to be like a producer, we thought, is Christian Bale going to show up at the end? Because that was kind of like the big rumor at the moment when that movie came out was, will Christian Bale as Bruce Wayne show up in a post-credit scene and try to invite Clark Kent to be a part of the Justice League? I was waiting for that, and then it didn't happen because apparently Christian Bale didn't want to do the movie anymore, even though supposedly the big talk was that he was offered a dick ton of money to stay on as Batman, but he didn't want to do it anymore because he wanted to focus on doing these independent movies that nobody really watches. I like Christian Bale as an actor, but I would have liked him to stay on as Batman. So, literally in that same year where the Man of Steel came out, it was announced that Bruce Wayne, or not Bruce Wayne, but Ben Affleck was going to play Bruce Wayne in an upcoming superhero movie. Which, it was met with a lot of controversy because it's funny. I remember what the rumor was that, Ben Affleck, is on a short list of actors that are being chosen to be Bruce Wayne. And I just kind of laughed off. I'm like, yep, that's probably not going to happen. I think it might have been like a day or two later it was announced Ben Affleck will play Bruce Wayne in the Man of Steel sequel. To which I wasn't really mad. I was more just like, what? Like, why? It's I don't know. People still don't like Ben Affleck as Batman. I don't hate him. He has the size. He definitely has the size to be a Batman. Because that was one of the reasons I think why they went with Ben Affleck. So it was so he could, be on par with Superman. And then I think somebody kind of corrected me on a Facebook page that Batman was actually like 5'10", 5'11" in the comics, and Christian Bale, was the right size for him. Which, why didn't Christian Bale stay on? So I don't know. I think if they had kept Christian Bale and kept building around him as the face of DC, that would have been so much more. The movies would be so much better, in my opinion. But then again, they didn't treat comic book property the way they do now. Because nowadays, if anything was a comic, you pick it up and make a movie or a TV show about it. Marvel was smart the way they were building around their movies, especially when they were bought by Disney. Disney was very smart how they kept making their movies, how they kept building their own universes and bringing in new characters and bringing them into the fold and making them a part of those making them a part of the current movies. Like in Iron Man 2, the end of Iron Man 2, you see Thor's hammer. The end of The Incredible Hulk, you see Tony Stark come in and want to form the Avengers. So, that's it. Like, a lot of, post-credit scenes were mainly just to set up new characters or new storylines or new movies. With DC didn't really do, or not DC, but like the Christopher Nolan Batman movies, you never saw any post-credit scenes. And supposedly the reason why is because Nolan didn't like post-credit scenes. He apparently referred to post-credit scenes as not real movies. Which, okay. But, yeah. If they had done things the way they did back then, like, say after the first Batman, like after the first Batman, they had like not really a post-credit scene, but they had a big Easter egg where they revealed the Joker. And let's say during that first Batman, like they had a post-credit scene where they were setting up. I'm trying to think of a name. Let's say they show that you see a caption saying currently going on in Central City. You see a scientist for the you see a CSI guy for the Central City Police Department, and he's struck by lightning while he's working in his lab, and he somehow gains these super speed abilities. Or no, you just see him get struck by lightning, and the lab coat he's wearing says Allen, B. Allen. That's a nice way to set up a future movie, a future Flash movie. That would have been interesting. That would have been nice, and we would have had two big universes. We would have been talking about, Marvel and DC are going at it like, the Monday Night Wars for WCW and WWF. Like, that would have been fucking huge. But, DC it looks like they're getting on the right track, because they're not focusing so much more on, hey, let's make shared universes, let's do big team ups. They're doing, hey, let's just do standalone movies for now and see how this works. Let's focus on our characters, and then eventually, if this pans out, let's see if we can do a team up movie and see if we can do it right. Let's do spin-offs and see how that works, and see if maybe we can put them in our movies. Or let's just let them stand on their own and not have them have anything to do with what's going on in our movies. With the Joker movie, with Joaquin Phoenix. It supposedly doesn't have anything to do with the current DC universe, but you look at the cast, it's set in the 80s in Gotham City. You look at the cast, you see a young Bruce Wayne, and then you see Thomas Wayne, you see, I was almost going to call him Charles, Alfred. So, who's to say this isn't maybe a prequel to The Dark Knight? Or the current Dark Knight? But then again, Jeffrey Dean Morgan played Thomas Wayne. So, I don't know how that would work. Or, maybe they're concocting another Batman? I don't know. I'm thinking of a million ideas at once. Because currently they have The Batman that Matt Reeves is doing. That's supposedly not going to have Ben Affleck in it because they want to have a younger Batman, which makes sense because it's a prequel. If they do that, it has to be year one Batman. Like that pretty much has to be it. Young and upcoming Batman, young and upcoming Gordon. So do that. And I was rambling on about something. I forgot what the fuck I was going to talk about. Oh yeah, for the Joker, maybe that's a way to set up a more hardcore rated R Batman. I don't know how else to set that up. The more and more I see pictures of Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, the more and more I'm interested in it. Because at first, the thought process going in was, why do we need a Joker movie? Why do we need two Joker movies? Because there's the Jared Leto one, which, meh. But, Joaquin Phoenix is a hell of an actor. He's an amazing actor. He can carry a film by himself. He can play creepy. He can play intimidating. There's a movie that he's in that I need to see desperately. It's called You Were Never Here. It's on Amazon Prime, and I have Amazon Prime. So I need to check that out. He was creepy as fucking Gladiator. He can act. The guy can act. He can do independent, and he can really make the most out of it without a big budget. So here we're going with that. What else are we talking about in DC? There's a new actor that was cast for the Birds of Prey movie. I'm going to look him up right now. Birds of Prey movie. Yeah, Chris Messina to play Victor Saz in Birds of Prey Harley Quinn movie. Chris Messina. That actor looks very, very familiar. I think he was in the movie. Yeah, he was in the movie Devil, where he played the cop at the end. Yeah, Victor Saz, pretty fucked up dude. He carves like I guess whole. He carves. Man, I am not on my game tonight. He carves pretty much carves like holes or like marks on his body for every victim that he kills. So if he kills a victim, you will see it carved on his body. It won't like say their name, but it's pretty much an homage of like, I'm pretty sure, the sick son of a bitch, knows which mark is who in his own way. He's like, oh yeah, you see this mark on my upper shoulder? That was somebody I ganked back in '82. So that'd be pretty interesting. The Birds of Prey movie seems pretty interesting so far. I'm not sure what the plot is. I just know you have Harley Quinn, you have the Huntress, you have Black Canary, which sets up for, you're going to see a lot of Oliver Queen references in that movie. I hope so. Who else? Fuck, I just had it in my head. Why did I just fucking lose it? Pamela Isley. So, we have to look forward to. Again, Disney is not Disney. DC is doing their own thing. They're trying to separate themselves from Disney and not trying to copy that formula because they're already like very immensely behind. So, what else as far as movie news goes? Black Panther was nominated for 3 Golden Globe Awards. One for Best Motion Picture Drama. What else? Best Original Score. Or no, Best Original Song for the All the Stars song. And you got something else. Oh yeah, Best Original Score. Will it win? No. I mean, I think if it's going to win anything, maybe Best Song, because that song's actually very good. The All the Stars song. Or maybe the, I'm looking at it now, Star is Born, Shallow. Oh yeah, that might win. I think that Star is Born movie is probably going to win any category it's nominated in. Alright, Best Motion Picture Drama. Black Klansman, Black Panther, Bohemian Rhapsody, If Beale Street Could Talk, and A Star is Born. Yeah, Black Panther's out winning that. Star is Born more than likely is going to win it because that movie got a lot of praises, in the year, which deservedly so. Black Klansman was pretty good. Bohemian Rhapsody, the music was good. I'll put it that way. The music was very good. Anything where it didn't have music, I was like, meh. And Best Score. A Quiet Place, Isle for Dogs, Black Panther, First Man, and Mary Poppins Returns. Obviously I've seen Black Panther and Quiet Place. The other movies I don't know. Maybe Black Panther might win original score. I don't know. And Best Original Song, All the Stars, Black Panther, Girls in the Movies by Dumplin', Requiem for a Private War, Revelation, Boy Erased, and Shallow, A Star is Born. Yeah, I don't know what the other movies are about, but yeah, Star is Born will probably win for Best Song because it's Lady Gaga. I'm assuming it's Lady Gaga. But Shallow is performed by Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper. Yeah, that'll more than likely win. They're going to take home all those awards. They did a pretty good job in it. And Best Animated Film, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse got nominated, so that's pretty cool. Ralph Breaks the Internet, Mirai, Isle of the Dogs, and Incredibles 2. I've yet to see Ralph Breaks the Internet. I seriously want to see that. I love the first one. Incredibles, I'll be honest, I wasn't a fan of the first one. I mean, I didn't hate it. It wasn't terrible. It was pretty decent, but I don't know. It wasn't my cup of tea, to be honest. I thought it was kind of boring, to be honest. Isle of Dogs I heard of. I just never watched. Didn't interest me. Into the Spider-Verse I need to see. It has of all the Spider-Man movies, it actually has a perfect score on Rotten Tomatoes. That's amazing. That's no pun intended. It's crazy. Black Panther getting nominated for an Oscar. I don't see that happening. I mean, crazier shit has happened. I mean, it's getting nominated for Best Motion Picture Drama. So, I don't know. It might get Best Picture. I mean, it might get nominated for Best Picture. I mean, I would be shocked, but at the same time, I wouldn't, because Disney is pushing so hard for this movie to get nominated, and I don't know. This thing about I like Black Panther. I love Black Panther. It wasn't my favorite movie though. As far as like the Marvel movies go, and superhero movies in general, it doesn't crack my top 10. It's not better than Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier is a great movie. It's not just a great superhero movie; it's a great movie. It's not better than it's not better than Dark Knight. That's for sure. Days of Future Past, no. Thor Ragnarok. I think Thor Ragnarok's better than Black Panther in my opinion. Not better than Wonder Woman. What else? What's another year? Infinity War was just so much better than Black Panther. The first Avengers, no. First Guardians of the Galaxy, maybe, but I prefer the first Guardians of the Galaxy, first Iron Man. It's not better than Logan, that's for sure. It sounds like I'm trashing this movie. I'm not. I love Black Panther. I saw it in theaters. I was hyped for it. I've seen it more than once. I bought it. I love the movie. I love the song. I love the acting. Killmonger was fucking awesome. Shuri was fucking awesome. Michonne was awesome. I don't know. The movie was great, but is it an Oscar-worthy movie? No. I don't know. It's not going to win anything, that's for sure. But, for it to get nominated, it is what it is. As far as, like, if it's going to win an Oscar, maybe for, like, best score, maybe, like, best song or costume design, graphics. Michael B. Jordan maybe getting a nomination. Yeah, I think, to me, he obviously stole the show in that movie. That was his movie. He was what Heath Ledger was to The Dark Knight. He stole the movie. But, I don't know. I didn't hate the movie. I loved it. But it's not my favorite. I don't think it's an Oscar-worthy movie. But, it had a very huge impact on the world because we hadn't seen a very successful black superhero movie before. We've seen black superhero movies, but we just haven't seen very good ones. Because we saw Blade. Blade was a commercial success, but didn't have the success that Black Panther had. Then there was it Steel with Shaq, which I should probably slap myself for even mention that. Black Panther had a huge success. It was one of the best reviewed movies of the year, and I think for the Oscars, I'm not saying nominate every superhero movie that gets a good review or nominate every good movie that gets a good review. Just nominate movies that, out of every other movie in the year, are in top 5 of the best reviews. And this movie made over $2 billion, and literally every critic on the planet gave it a good review and said, "Go see this movie. This is the movie to see." So, if you're going to nominate a movie, nominate it because people want to go see it. People loved it. They clamored for it. And the critics said, this is the movie to see. Don't just nominate a movie because it had good acting. Nominate a movie because it got good reviews from everybody. And this movie had good acting. But it's not going to win anything. It's not going to win Best Picture for anything. What's next on the agenda? Oh, as far as movie news, Scott Derrickson's coming back for Doctor Strange 2. So is Benedict Cumberbatch, Benedict Wong, and Rachel McAdams, which is pretty cool. I'm cool for that. I liked the first Doctor. I liked Doctor Strange. The movie, I wasn't too crazy about. Not that it was bad. I just thought it was kind of slow. If that makes sense. It didn't really capture my interest the way it should. It was kind of like the first Captain America, where it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't anything to get wet over. But But then the second one ended up being, the best one out of the whole series. So maybe this could be, maybe part 2 can be their Winter Soldier. Maybe it can be the one that, entices people to come in. And, Benedict Cumberbatch stole the show in Infinity War. Him and him and Tony were, the MVPs of Infinity War, obviously. But I think Doctor Strange pretty much stole the show in Infinity War. He did. He held his own against Thanos. It's, they showed that montage of Doctor Strange, preparing for Infinity War, where you see Baron, fighting him and saying, fight like your life depended on it. And that's when he did Infinity War. He fought to the very end and held his own against Thanos. I'm surprised Thanos didn't give the same respect that he gave to Tony that he to Strange. Maybe he did, but he just didn't have time to. Thanos is a very busy man. He was busy, murdering half of the universe. Yeah, the movie is supposedly set to come out in 2021. They are eyeing the Hollywood Reporter is for the script to be hashed out in 2018 with an eye toward a spring 2020 production start. If all goes well, the movie will be casting its spell on audiences on May 2021. Marvel had no comment. Derrickson carved out a resume of horror such as 2005's Exorcism of Emily Rose and 2012's Sinister. Doctor Strange made $677.7 million worldwide. Earlier this year, he directed the pilot for TNT's adaptation of Snowpiercer, but parted ways with the production if the showrunner was replaced. There you go. So there is my news on entertainment for movies and television. There is everything. You're welcome. Love you guys. Okay. Let's close out the show by giving out predictions for TLC, which is this Sunday. Alright, TLC, Tables, Ladders, and Chairs, oh my, is December 16th, this coming Sunday, at the, I guess it's either the SAP or SAP Center in San Jose, California. And I'm not sure which match is a pre-show match. They haven't stated it at all. But the first match on the card is Rey Mysterio versus Randy Orton in a chairs match. I think this match is going to be the way you think it's going to be. It's not going to be amazing. It's not going to light the world on fire. If this were maybe 10 years ago, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't really care then. But, the whole point of this feud is that Randy, is trying to humiliate Rey by taking off his mask. That horse has been kicked, more than once. I would say give Rey the win. I don't think Randy really needs this win. I don't even think Randy really cares about being here. He's coming here for a payday. But I don't know. Yeah, just give Rey the win. Rey. Yeah. None of them really need this win, but if I had to pull for anyone, it'd be Rey. Next match, Buddy Murphy versus Cedric Alexander for the Cruiserweight Championship. A rematch from the Super Showdown in Australia almost 2 months ago. Keeps the title on Buddy. Buddy's, still fresh as champion. And Cedric, Cedric will do fine without it. Cedric's fine. Just keep the title on Buddy until Mania and set up his opponent, whoever that may be. Maybe Mustafa Ali. Have Mustafa Ali, be the contender for Buddy's title at Mania. I mean, I'm becoming a fan of Mustafa Ali. Because I'm not that big into the whole flippy, kicky, zippity doodah guys. But Mustafa Ali's really he's kind of made me a believer. I like him. I like his style. He kind of looks like a mini Seth Rollins. I'll be perfectly honest. Whenever I turned on SmackDown, I saw Daniel Bryan wrestling. I'm like, wait, is that Seth Rollins? No, he's shorter. Okay, that's Mustafa Ali. Not bad. But yeah, they had a really good match. I'm surprised they set that match up. I'm assuming that's an early Christmas present to all the hardcore internet fans. Had a really good match. Daniel Bryan made him tap out with a heel lock, which I'm guessing that's going to be his new move. I mean, he was literally holding on to his heel, but I'm pretty sure they're going to change it to HEEL lock. I don't know. Yeah, Buddy Murphy, let him win. Keep the title on him until Mania and have him face Mustafa Ali. Boom, there you go. Next match is a tables match between Natalya and Ruby Riott. I don't like the fact that they're using Natalya's dad, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, pretty much for cheap heat. I mean, I told Trez this on Twitter because she voiced her displeasure about it, where she said, why are they using this? It's very disrespectful, A, B, C, and D. And I replied kind of with a smart-ass answer, where I put in quotations, Jim would have loved it, says the company. Where it seems like that's always their excuse for using, I guess, dead relatives, the dead relatives of other wrestlers to be used in storylines, or like dead loved ones, dead relatives. And the excuse is always, he would have loved it. It's kind of like with Eddie Guerrero back in 2006 when they kept using him as a storyline. When they had Randy Toll, Rey Mysterio, Eddie's in hell. Blah, 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 and they had JBL make, smart-ass remarks about Eddie, and they had, Batista say, Eddie's dead. I know it's not how Batista sounds. But, I don't know, I don't like it. It's fucked up, but I don't put it past the company for using it. It's one of those things where it's just like, I try to explain it to people, and they think I'm agreeing with the company. I'm not. I think it's fucking disgusting and gross. But it's not something I'm shocked by. I don't put it past the company for doing it. So yeah. I would say give this to Ruby. I mean, I think Ruby needs this win more. I personally like Ruby. I don't blame her for this storyline because, you're not just going to tell them, no, I don't want to do it. She's a young, upcoming wrestler. She doesn't want to piss anyone off. From what I heard, she's a nice person, and she doesn't ruffle any feathers. So I'm pretty sure you said yes, whatever you want. So I don't blame Ruby for this. I would say give this to Ruby. I don't hate Natalya. I think she's a very nice person. She comes off as someone that if you worked with her, you would like her automatically. Because she seems very annoying. But then you meet her, and you're like, oh, she's very nice and sweet. She made me cookies. When she's like the person that, like, she doesn't know you that well, but if she found out that you were sick, she would, bring you hot soup the next day and with medicine and vitamin C. So she seems like a nice person, but I think she's done. She kind of needs to retire. She can be a trainer. I mean, there's no shame in being a trainer. She can train the girls. That seems like a better idea. I can imagine her being a trainer for the girls. Alright, next match is a triple threat tag match between the Bar, the tag champs, on SmackDown, The New Day, and the Usos. If this match were 2 years ago, I'd care. I don't care. Especially after tonight. That whole rap battle thingy, whatever you want to call it, it was cringeworthy at best. Like, why? Why have a rap battle? That was stupid. I don't know. I like the Usos, but they haven't been shit for a while. They need to maybe be repackaged. Maybe send them to NXT. That'd be a better idea. The New Day, I get it. They make money. Kids like them. Kids like Bootios or Pancakes, whatever the hell they're using now. I don't care for the Bar. I never liked Sheamus. I like Cesaro, but he's kind of become old, kind of like he's in the who cares pile for me. But I don't know. I don't care about this match. I honestly don't. I mean, it'll probably be a good match, but it's not a tag. It's just a tag match. It's not a ladder match. I don't know. Give it to the Usos, I guess. If I had to pick, I'd say the Bar. They're gonna let them keep the titles for whatever unknown reason. Oh, this is why it's not gonna be a ladder match. This is a ladder match. The next match is a ladder match between Elias and Bobby Lashley. The guitar will be suspended above the ring, and the first to retrieve it can use it as a weapon. So it is a guitar and on a pole match, I guess. Elias. Give it to Elias. I hate Bobby Lashley so much. He sucks. He is terrible. He just screams no personality. Leo Rush, I don't care for either. I think he's very annoying and kind of cringeworthy. Him as a talent is not bad, but him trying to be a manager to Lashley does not make any sense. I don't like it. It doesn't work. I don't get the point of it. Elias is obviously the bigger star. He's the guy that they need to keep letting him get wins and put a title on him, put the Intercontinental title on him in the future. Elias gets better reactions. He's a guy that had probably I wouldn't say maybe the worst gimmick, but a very bad gimmick. He had the Drifter gimmick, the Drifter Elias Sampson, which made zero fucking sense in NXT. He gets to the main roster. I don't know how that gimmick got over on the main roster. I don't know how he was in NXT and just was a complete nobody. He comes to the main roster and becomes Elias. He becomes huge. Maybe it's because they gave him more television time. Maybe it's because they let him talk more. Because I don't really recall him talking too much in NXT. But now he's on the main roster. He can talk. He's a decent worker. He's not lighting the world on fire, but he's a decent worker. The big, thick, burly looking motherfucker. He literally looks like someone that can beat your ass. Legit in a real fight. The whole singing thing, it works. The crowd loves it. He can actually sing. He actually play guitar. I think why that gimmick works for him is that it fits him like a glove. He can actually play guitar. It's not like Aces and Eights in TNA where none of those guys could actually ride motorcycles. The motorcycle thing was Undertaker because he actually did ride motorcycles, and that's why it seemed real coming from him. It's real coming from Elias because he can actually play guitar and he's actually entertaining. So yeah, Elias is going to win this match. Next match is Finn Balor versus Drew McIntyre, singles match. The talk was that Finn Balor might not have been able to compete because he supposedly had an illness, but they took him off house shows and on the Mixed Match Challenge, and they haven't alluded to him missing the show, but apparently today they said he'll make the show. So him and Drew McIntyre, they obviously want to make Drew McIntyre a thing. So I would say I want Finn Balor to win, but I think they're going to let Drew win. Which sounds weird to say he's on Drew. Drew McIntyre, it's. I said this before. I get why he's being pushed. Because when he first came here back in 2009, he was just a big, tall, skinny nobody. He literally looked like, Blue Blood Triple H. And I think that was the rumor why they were supposedly pushing him was because Triple H liked him. And he was just a nobody back then. And no matter how many times they tried to change his music, they gave him the whole Chosen One gimmick. That Vince McMahon literally called him the Chosen One. I think that's what it was. And it didn't work. He just couldn't do shit. He ends up leaving, goes to TNA, gets bigger, by eating, taking his vitamins, drinking his milk. Come on, those are vitamin muscles. Come on, some type of form of vitamins. He comes back and he's a lot bigger. His work got better. I'll admit that, but he still doesn't do it for me. I don't know, and I don't care for his whole, I'm gonna yell into the microphone every night when I talk and blah blah blah. It's like, no, he still doesn't do it for me. You look good, you work better, but it still doesn't work. You're still in ginger territory. So I don't know. They want to make him a thing, that's fine, but it is what it is. Yeah, I think Drew's going to win it. Next match on the card, triple threat TLC match for the Women's Championship on SmackDown. Becky Lynch champion, Charlotte Flair and Asuka. I'm getting this sneaking suspicion that this is what's going to happen. I think Asuka's going to win because they wouldn't have just put her in this match for any other reason. Because I think they want to make her a thing again. Because I wasn't really paying attention to SmackDown too much because I was studying for my final tomorrow. But she got the upper hand at the end of the show. I think she's going to win, and they're going to put over Asuka again, which I'm fine with because I like Asuka. And then they're going to have Becky Lynch win the Women's Royal Rumble and challenge Ronda Rousey for the title, which that match deserves to be on WrestleMania, which I'm fine with. Because Becky doesn't need to be champion to be over. Just because you're a champion doesn't mean you're over. The person has to make the title mean something. The title isn't supposed to make the person, in my opinion. And I think that's what people kind of... That's the wrong message people get, is that, oh, he's not they're not champion anymore, then that means they must suck. It's like, no. Like AJ Styles. AJ Styles was champion for a year. He's been a 2-time champion. And he can still be over. He doesn't need to be champion anymore to be over. Same thing with I'm trying to think of other names. Well, there's really not a lot of guys over anymore in this company. John Cena can still come back and get a reaction. He doesn't need to be a champion anymore. Samoa Joe still gets a reaction, regardless of what most people might think, which is me. Jeff Hardy still gets a reaction from the crowd. People love Jeff Hardy. I love Jeff Hardy to death. Orton still gets somewhat of a reaction. Ray gets a reaction. None of these guys need to be champion to be over. They're already over. So, I think what's going to happen is that there's going to be a lot of offense. There's going to be some crazy shit going on with Asuka. Becky, I think, might be limited to what she can do because of her condition. There's going to be her first match back is a TLC match. It's crazy. One of the most dangerous matches in wrestling, a ladder match. A TLC match is a ladder match. It's a glorified ladder match. I don't know. I expect a lot of light offense from Becky. I think they're going to tell her not to do too much because of her coming back from a concussion. Charlotte's going to do some crazy shit, but I don't know. I believe in my heart that I think Asuka might win. I think they're going to want to give Asuka another run at that title. Get her the fuck away from Naomi and just have her be Asuka again. Have her go out there and fuck bitches up. And then just have Becky win the Royal Rumble, challenge Ronda at Mania, and there you go. Next match, Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles, WWE Championship. Hey, Daniel's winning this. The talk, and we talked about this on the show not too long ago. AJ is renegotiating for a new contract, which he'll get. He'll get it. He wants to work less dates, kind of like, that Randy Orton, Jeff Hardy type schedule. Which he deserves it. Come on. And I'm sorry, guys. AJ Styles is not going to the new Elite or All Elite Wrestling whatever thing that Cody Rhodes has. He's not. AJ has a family. He needs to provide for them. This is probably the best schedule will work. But Daniel Bryan's going to win it. It'll be a good match. These two can have good matches. These two have good chemistry. It'll be a good match. I like Daniel Bryan's new heel character. I wasn't too sure where it was going to go. I like that it seems like he's having a lot of input on it. That's what it seems like to me. Because he's going out there, he's not saying, I hate all of you and I want you all to die. That's why I became a bad... He's like, no. Daniel Bryan is pretty much talking from the heart, but just being a lot more meaner. He's, because Daniel Bryan, who's known as a vegan, he's a hippie guy. The joke about him, before he came back, from retirement was that he was going to like Twigs and Berry doctors, voodoo doctors, whatever. But Daniel Bryan is a hippie. He is a vegan. He's telling people, you will eat your processed meat and blah, blah, A, B, C, and D, and I don't know why I don't know why I laughed when he said fickle. He's getting mad at people saying yes, and he's saying fickle, fickle, fickle. And I don't know. I like it. I wouldn't be surprised if they made that into a shirt. And the crowd's obviously going to chant that. They're not going to hate Daniel Bryan. The crowd loves Daniel Bryan, regardless of what he says and does. Even if he does tell a little kid that he's stupid for celebrating his birthday. I love that. I love the vegan prick Daniel Bryan. For a while he was kind of like floating in like mid-card territory because when he came back, he was still doing his shtick of, oh golly gee whiz, guys, I'm a nice guy. And now he's a heel. It works. I like it. But yeah, Daniel Bryan's going to win, and I don't know who his next opponent might be. That I'm interested in. I don't know. Anyways, moving on. Next match, Ronda Rousey vs. Nia Jax, Raw Women's Championship. I want Ronda Rousey to walk out there and punch Nia Jax in the fucking face. That's all I want. That's literally all I want. I want Ronda Rousey to just go out there, punch Nia Jax in her stupid, fat, dumb face, break her fucking arm, make her tap, and then move on to the next opponent. And then have Becky pick up with whatever's left. I fucking hate Nia Jax so much. I want this bitch off my TV. I don't want when I see this bitch, I either put it on mute or change to the next channel. She can't talk. Missionary said it best. She's acting more like Velvet Sky when she should be Andre the Giant. She's a fucking killer. She should be a killer, but she's out there acting like a conceited, stuck-up girl. That's Alexa Bliss's gimmick. And for whatever reason, they're giving it to Nia. Which I hate it. So, that's how I want the match to go. I want Ronda to go out there and beat the shit out of Nia. Just break her fucking arm, punch her in her fucking face, and that's the end of it. And then Nia can go fucking cry to Big Daddy Dwayne. Anyways, moving on to the next match. Baron Corbin versus Braun Strowman, tables, ladders, and chairs match. If Braun Strowman wins, he will receive a Universal Championship match at the Royal Rumble, and Corbin will be stripped of all authoritative power. If Corbin wins, he will become the full-time general manager of Raw. Wow. I wonder what's going to happen. I have this lingering feeling that something's going to happen. Because here's what I think is going to happen. Because we're seeing a lot of vignettes and promo time for what's his name, Lars Sullivan, right? I think he's going to come out and act as an enforcer or like a muscle for Braun Strowman, or not Braun Strowman, Baron Corbin, and then cost Braun Strowman the match, and have Corbin be the new GM of Raw, which nobody wants that. Nobody fucking wants that. But they obviously love Baron Corbin for whatever reason. I don't know who he's blowing in the back. I don't know who he's fucking or blowing in the back. I don't know. I want to know, but I don't know who it is. If I had that information, I'd tell you guys. But they love Corbin. I have a feeling Corbin's going to win this. Braun, for whatever reason, it seems like anytime he has a chance to be something or to be a top... I mean, he is a top guy. I'm not going to say he's not a top guy. He's a top guy. The kids love him. They wear his shirts and everything. They get these hands thing, is over. But for whatever reason, they don't want to put a title on him. He's been on the main roster for 3 years, and he has yet to hold a title. I mean, the tag team title with Nicholas, but that's a... Fuck you. I know I was being sarcastic when that happened, but that was fucking stupid. That you basically just took a giant shit on Cesaro and Sheamus. I can't. That's why I don't take those guys seriously anymore, because of that. Yeah, Braun Strowman, it just seems, I don't know. I don't think he'll ever be. I think he'll be a champion at some point, but I just don't know when. I don't know when and where. The talk is that they want to make Alexa Bliss the GM, but she's supposedly, doing, training to get back into the ring. So that's a good thing, I guess. I don't know how this match is going to turn out. All I know is it might be disappointing because they obviously love Baron Corbin. So I don't know. I don't even have a choice in who's going to win it because it can go either way. But I think Baron might win it. And I think Lars Sullivan, I'm missing up my words. Lars Sullivan might just interfere and side with Baron. This looks like it might be the main event. Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose, Intercontinental title. Dean. They took a character. They took Dean Ambrose, who the fans love. He had an opportunity to be this huge heel. And they just make him... They make him... I don't know if there's any anime fans here. They make him Emperor Pilaf from... Not even Emperor Pilaf. They basically made him like a Saturday morning cartoon, character villain. He just comes out and he's like telling people, "You stink. You're stinky. I don't want to go out there because you smell. I hate everyone because they smell. You stink." It's like, what? How? Why is this guy a heel? And he's coming out with his Bane from the Dark Knight Rises gas mask. And it's just like, why? And I also think, because John Draper was on the show a couple weeks ago, he made a good point. It's this heel turn happened on the night where, the biggest star in the company, whether we wanted to admit it or not, had to leave because, he had leukemia. He might not even come back. And I think the thought process was that they were going to do this heel turn anyway. I read somewhere that they planned it at the last minute. But they wouldn't just do that on a show, maybe the most important show of the year. And important Raw of the year. So they do it on a night where you see Seth and Dean crying. You see Seth pretty much just, he's biting his lower lip trying not to cry. You see Dean, looking like a nervous wreck. And then later on in the night you see Dean beat up Seth and say, "I hate Seth, he's a piece of shit, blah, blah, blah." And he smells, everybody smells. I don't think anyone's taking that seriously because it's like, dude, we saw you cry at the ramp. We don't believe you. We don't buy this. And personally, we feel very uncomfortable with this storyline because you're having Dean, use Roman for, heel heat, saying, Roman got what he deserved and now he has to deal with the man upstairs. Which is, come on. I know, again, I said earlier that I know that they do this, that they're not above doing this, but don't just, come on, the guy has leukemia. What is his kid going to think when they watch the show and say, "Daddy, is that how Uncle Dean really feels?" I mean, he's going to have to explain to them it's just a show. They're just playing characters. I mean, kids don't know that. Come on. But, this could have been the biggest, feud in the company, and Dean could have been a hot heel. And then you have Seth, who's already, the most over babyface on Raw. And you made this into a really nothing feud. A really stupid feud. Could it be saved? Maybe. I have a feeling that Renee is going to get involved because she's been very tight-lipped anytime, Michael Cole or not Baron Corbin, but Corey asks her anything about the situation. She kind of keeps it very short and sweet. And I think she might get involved. I think it'll be a la of 1999 Armageddon. Not the movie, but the WWF pay-per-view in 99 when it was Vince McMahon versus Triple H in a street fight. And then Stephanie comes out and helps Triple H deliver the last final blow on Vince McMahon. You can have Renee do that. I'd be down with that. Maybe have Renee be a valet, or just keep her on commentary. Just have her be the heel announcer. Because Corey's kind of back and forth because he'll defend heels, but he'll also say something good about faces. And then Michael Cole's just there to pretend that he gives two fucks about anything he has to say. So, yeah, keep Renee as the heel announcer, have her be bitchy to the women, have her be bitchy to the other faces, including Seth, and then when Dean comes out, just gush over him. That, to me, that makes sense. Yeah, I think Dean's going to win it, and Renee's going to interfere. So, I think that's more than likely going to be the main event. And then I see another match on here to be determined, mixed match channel, too much words. Mixed match challenge, final match. Each member of the winning team will be the last entrant of their respective Royal Rumble matches at the Royal Rumble. So, yeah. I'm assuming that's the pre-show match. I'm just going to assume that's a pre-show match. So, yeah, there you go. Those are my predictions for TLC this coming Sunday. I will definitely... I'm obviously going to watch it. We'll do a post-show after TLC. This coming Sunday, I'll be graduating from college. So it's going to be a busy day for me. Very busy day. What else are we going to talk about? I think that's pretty much it. That's pretty much everything I have for the night. Yeah, this Sunday I'm going to do a TLC review show. And then next Tuesday I'll see if I can bring Jess back on. And that is it. Alright. Twitter, The Drew Yari Show. You know where to find me. Facebook, same thing. Head on over to Spreaker and follow. Hit like, follow. Follow, like, and leave a comment. Same thing with iTunes. Do a review for me on iTunes. And you'll catch this show on Wednesday on any other podcast platform you might have. Spreaker is our home base. Google Play, iTunes, Spotify, and like I said, any other place that you might listen to podcasts at. So, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for being fans of the show, wherever you may be. And have a good night, and take care.